Okay, this is Joss from SI, the website, Systems Innovation, and today I wanted to share with you a little bit the workings of what we call co-creations, which are a form of activity we do in the SI network, and just going to walk you through the workings of that. So, co-creations are open spaces for different individuals and organizations to collaborate around a given challenge. It's a form of open innovation. You might say something like a hackathon, but instead of it being a competition, the structure of it is designed to enable collaboration and synergies, and essentially create that space for people to come together and contribute their ideas and experience around a given challenge, so that we can hopefully come up with something more than the sum of the parts, insights and new ideas on how to address it. So these are the kind of the key elements I'm going to walk through in this presentation. What we need to be in place, what we need to organize to set up a co-creation. So you can see there the challenge. We start with that. I'll walk through all of these in a minute. Organization, how we're going to organize this, what kind of workshops and events are we going to run, what kind of tools and research will we need, what will be the outcome from this. Who will the participants be? What kind of roles will they have? And how we're going to do communications and let people know about it. So that's key aspects for organizing a co-creation. And just starting with a challenge, we want to clarify what exactly that is. Starting with a good question is really important. A good challenge and be able to describe that well is going to be the foundations of a good co-creation. So it all kind of starts there. These are examples of ones we've taken in the past. So how might we build mental health and resilience for a turbulent world is one co-creation we've done. Finding leverage points to enable the transition towards a circular economy as the challenge. And how might we enable the emergence of truly participatory cities? We've done those. Those have been open innovations, co-creation sessions, typically around 90 minutes to 2 hours. We run online on a mirror board and bringing our community members together and challenge holders and so forth. We've done a number of others, but that's just to illustrate some of the challenges we're talking about. So then a process in terms of what's actually going to happen here. A co-creation can be a one-off event, or it could be a number of activities and events over a period of time. So we need to think about that. Are we creating a series, or is this just going to be a one-off event is a starting place? Of course, we have a method at SI for addressing these wicked challenges. And if we're doing a series, if we're trying to move towards the lab, we might want to do a number of these in terms of framing the challenge, thinking about it systemically. On the top right there, mapping it out, finding leverage points, thinking about the transition there, or growing an ecosystem. So this section is thinking about what activity we're going to do or what set of activities. So we might just choose one of these. It could be any of those, right? It could be, I'll show you in a minute, mapping out leverage points, or we could be trying to frame this in a systemic way, or we could be thinking about how to grow an ecosystem around a particular challenge, or we could be doing all of those. So that's the first consideration. Is it a series? Is it a one-off? Which one of those are we going to be doing? And this is just an example in the first section, the challenge framing section, systemic thinking section. We have this canvas that we often use. It's the ecosystem to ecosystem thinking canvas. So the event will be organized around this, trying to shift people's thinking from a reductionist kind of linear way of looking at the challenge and the system to one that's more representative of systems thinking perspective to change the paradigm. That's one. Many we do are actually around mapping leverage points. This is a great one for ideating on what are the factors affecting a particular challenge that's in the center there. The second circle is mapping out those factors, and third circle's finding intervention points. How might we change those different elements, different factors to shift the system's dynamic? So that's just an example. We could be taking 2 of those or 4 of those different modules, or just one of them. It might take at least 90 minutes or 2 hours to do just this, as you saw there, and the mapping leverage points for the transition to a circular economy before was one of the challenges. So that was a bit about the process and getting that high-level stuff. Now we want to think about how we organize this session, starting to jump into the actual workshops and what are they going to look like, how they're going to play out, and who will be the organizers and who will do what. And then moving on to the content, what contents will we need? Quite often you need to do research leading up to this. If you want a well-informed co-creation, a well-informed challenge, you'll want to research that, to understand different factors and so forth around it, so you can share those with the participants at the beginning, so they can be informed coming into this. So that's the content and research, and then the outcomes. You want to think about this also from the beginning. What would you like to be the enduring outcomes from this co-creation? It may just be getting people together to ideate on this and they take those ideas away. It might be creating an infographic, a representation, a map, or something like this that we're going to publish afterwards. That's quite often what we're working on or what we're doing in those co-creations. It might be a more long-term project where there's specific outcomes, actually changing systems and influencing the way people do things. So that's considering outcomes. And then talk about the participants, who the people are going to be involved in this challenge. What roles do they have? Is it open for everyone to join, or are we going to be just inviting certain people? And yeah, what sort of role will they have? We'll just look at a few of those on the next slide here. So these are some of the roles we often have. You could potentially create more. We're going to need some kind of a facilitator to guide people through the workshop. During the activities, during the events, though quite often we have coaches. These are people who are have experience or experts in this area, and they're going to be sharing their ideas. They're going to be animating the conversation with the participants as we go along, and generally supporting and enabling the whole conversation, adding insights and so on. And they may be voting on the ideas that they think are most relevant. Can be a challenge holder also. This is the person representing an organization that actually has this challenge initially. I guess there's also participants, right? The people who are going to join and post up their ideas. So actually makes 4 different roles there. Communications, obviously need to let people know about this and develop a narrative around it as to why it's important and why people should be involved, and think about the channels and the medium and how we're going to share relevant information about it to raise awareness. And that's that. This is just to give you a little insight into what one of these might look like. We talked about the mapping leverage points one. This is actually what kind of came out of it. You can see the center circle is defining the challenge. The second one there is the mapping, and the third, the leverage points. And yeah, a lot of people working on a mirror board that day and created a lot of different ideas that we synthesize afterwards and turn them into a graphic to share back with people. And that's that. That's a co-creation that we do at SI, and hopefully this presentation was informative so you understand how they work and the different elements involved there.